Is Buteyko similar to yoga? Is Buteyko a type of yoga? Is Buteyko compatible with yoga? It is yoga.
I kept meeting other yogis who something had changed about them, something positive. Their practice was better, they were more juicy. And I asked them, what are they doing? What are they doing? And they said, Buteyko, Buteyko.
If we carefully compare the ideas of yoga in the Bhagavad Gita and in the Sutras of Patanjali, we find an extremely close correlation with the ideas of Professor Buteyko. The main difference is the emphasis, and that's because the breathing of contemporary aspirants is very different to what it was hundreds of years ago. What the rishis discovered through rigorous physical investigation hundreds of years ago, Professor Buteyko discovered in his diagnostic laboratories in the 1950s. Suspending the breath in the nostrils is recommended in the Bhagavad Gita for transcendentalists. Similarly, very shallow breathing is a key part of Buteyko training. Kumbhaka breath holding and asanas dramatically reduce the breathing, as do Buteyko's maximum pauses or breath holds after exhalation.
Do a back bend or any asana and breathe in or breathe deeply. It's physiologically impossible.
Buteyko's method is based on a discovery that chronic ailments are the result of a deficiency of carbon dioxide within the organism, and that levels of carbon dioxide are determined by the way we breathe.
Interesting for me is that the core of core, if you like, the untouchable part of you that normally wavers with excitement when we do something to an extreme, stayed unexcited, but stayed not dull, not absolutely still. I would describe it as a kind of an effervescent stillness, and that was something that I felt perhaps is akin to what prana should feel like.
Comparing the role of carbon dioxide in the organism and the qualities of prana or chi reveals a correlation so aligned they are almost interchangeable. Medical scientists have known for decades that carbon dioxide is vital for life, while prana, by definition, is considered a life-sustaining force.
Pranayama for many years was one of the best teachers in the world. Either I'm a complete idiot or it doesn't really work in the way it's taught. When I started doing Buteyko, I started slightly beginning to get a touch of perhaps what I interpret Patanjali was saying when he said yoga is the cessation or the fluctuations of the mind.
Scientific investigations have shown that the synchronicity in which neurons synapse with brain cells is linear to the level of carbon dioxide and is therefore directly related to the rate of respiration.
It's a kind of a that's going on inside that I wasn't aware of or wasn't able to tap into before. And of course that has a repercussion in your life outside. So the pendulum swings less. You come back to that centre much more. And for me that's it's enough. The natural breath sort of became more natural, supernatural. But all I know is that this experiment that's been going on for me for 2 years so far, a regular practice, is still ongoing. And there's no difference now, very little difference between what's happening in my Buteyko and what's happening in my asana. The two are inseparable. One is feeding into the other, like two rivers feeding into the main stream. And for that, I'm very grateful that I bumped into Christopher eventually and have started this practice. And it's still an ongoing experiment.
Yoga aspirants who are quite serious notice that all their yoga practice improves enormously when their breathing improves. Their asanas become easier and all their yoga practice flows more easily, more naturally, because breath holding and breath control is not some aspect of yoga. It's not some particular exercise that you might practice if you're predisposed to doing so. Breath control is the center. Breath control is the heart of yoga.